So we're talking about a lot of releases, special re-releases of classic films. One film which I hadn't seen, which up until now I hadn't checked out, was Dario Argento's Four Flies on Grey Velvet. Dan is here. Have you seen this film before now?
I had never seen this film before. It's actually always been one of the ones that intrigues me the most of Dario Argento's, purely because of the title, because it's insane. Do
you know what? I think there's so many reasons why this is nuts. First of all, it's got a score from Ennio Morricone.
Apparently they really fell out during this film as well. This was the film that ended their partnership for many years.
And also, another nuts factor is that it stars Michael Brandon, who, of course, if you're in the UK, one of the big TV shows from the 80s was Dempsey and Makepeace. He was in that.
I saw this. I was doing my little look up and thinking, what if any of the actors did anything after this film? And turns out they did. It's quite big news.
Some of it is spoken in English. I think part of it is obviously Italian and French. But there's a weird dialogue thing where it seems dubbed, because you're watching their mouths and it's like they're saying English language, speaking English, but they're really not. Weird. It's like dubbed with some fake English actor.
It took me about 20 minutes to work it out, because I was watching thinking, oh yeah, it's been dubbed into American English, like that's standard. And I just thought, hang on a minute, the mouths are moving with the same word.
With English words. It's like, what's the point of that? I guess it's because it's a mixture of languages. Maybe they had to just do it in one language.
It's a shame, actually, because it's one of the things I love about that era of horror is that weird dubbed mismatch of quite bad American acting just plonked over the top. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily want it in modern horror, but it just creates such a vibe that you don't get anymore. And it's probably an Argento thing generally. His films are so, I don't know. If I really reflect on his films, I don't know this, so they're not my favourites, only in the respect that I like the vibe of an Argento film rather than the actual viewing of it, if that makes sense. Almost like art installations than something I want to actually sit and engage with for the plot. Because actually, similar to Suspiria, it's just nonsense. I mean, it is pure, like, gubbins in terms of the actual plot. Like, the denouement of this film was like, what? Like, I had to really go back and Wikipedia, like, what's the motive? Oh, how is it that character that's been doing it? Like, none of it really makes sense, but it's all about the weird geography of it. Always picks amazing houses, but I'm just sitting there thinking I really want that interior design.
I love his films for that reason, because it makes them more nightmarish and it makes them more nuts and kind of hard to understand, because in a nightmare you can't understand anything. So it does make sense that they feel like that to me.
Yeah. And apparently, I mean, I saw this on the extras, but Argento basically talks about this, that he got the idea of the film from nightmares, and that's why it probably looks that way. Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's not, for me, it's not one I'd want to sit with some popcorn. It's one I'd throw on probably at like a horror party just for the imagery, because I found it a bit of a slog in terms of like, where's this going? It's quite long as well. I mean, as you said, it's either going to be for you or not, and I would recommend it because I just think his films are so unique and he's such a fun horror director, but his films do meander a little bit, and I think if you're not into the vibe, I think he actually got better. I feel like Deep Red, Tenebrae, some of those other films were a bit more kind of held together. But yeah, I mean, so much to enjoy. It's just batshit. I think the only thing I will say, which I wasn't sure if I'd missed another cut, the kills were really, really vanilla in this film, and I don't know whether they were cut down.
I often think his kills are, though, in his films. But I don't know whether that's because we're so used to really aggressive, violent scenes now in horror films. I don't know, because I think his films have a certain charm for that reason, that they are not kind of not offensive, because I think they're still offensive because they're kills, but I just think they're done in a really colourful way, like splashing lots of paint on.
I mean, Suspiria, the deaths are really, really graphic. I mean, you get like knives to the heart and like rottings. I think Tenebrae has that. I love there's a kill in that where she has her arm or hand sliced off and sprays blood all over the kitchen wall. In this, there was a lot of cutting away, a lot of, we were going to get a kill then, and then we hear a scream off screen or something. And it's just a bit of a shame, because I don't know whether like there was a less cut version of it.
That's really interesting. I don't know whether that is... I'm guessing that because this is a re-release and it's a special limited edition re-release, I'm guessing that it is uncut. But you might be right, maybe. But I wouldn't have seen the point unless it's because he wanted to cut it and wanted to release that cut version.
Yeah, I mean, there is
as the definitive version almost.
Yeah, there is a Dario Argento cut, which I might go back and have a look on the disc, because the one I put the regular one on because I thought, well, I want to see the theatrical.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just cut a lot out, but I was just expecting a lot more gore. And it's not why I go into an Argento film, but I like the way he does a kind of lurid death scene. And I felt like we didn't get that in this. And I don't know, it sort of made it less interesting, because I kind of thought, well, about the third kill in, it's going to be another kind of quite non-graphic thing.
So this is the last film that concludes his trilogy, the Animal Trilogy.
Yeah.
Which has become really iconic in the horror genre fan base. I hadn't seen this and I hadn't seen the previous, but obviously this made way for Suspiria. So Suspiria came after this, am I right? Because this is early 70s, isn't it?
Yeah, so maybe he was still kind of finessing his style at that point. But
yeah.
No, it's a great little film. It's not necessarily for me, but I think there's so much in it, and I think it's always worth the watching experience of it.
It's coming out 28th of April. We'll probably be posting lots of other bits and pieces on Instagram as well, so check out our Insta. And Dan, you're over on Nancy Boys.
I am indeed. I just went to the horror film festival last weekend, so check out my review of that. It'll come back next year. Met Freddy Krueger and everything, so that was really exciting.
Amazing. And cool. Yeah, thank you very much for today. We'll see you soon.
No worries. Thanks, Phil.